So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today we're going to talk about the brand new album by the Italian, sometimes gothic metal band, Lacuna Coil. So, I have been a fan of Lacuna Coil since Comalies back in the beginning of the 2000s. And I've always thought that Christina Scavia is an amazing singer. And yeah, I've seen them live. They played in Puerto Rico. I think it was 2015 or 2014. I can't remember. But yes, I've constantly been listening to the band. And the new album is called Sleepless Empire. Here's the artwork for it, and it's a pretty simple artwork. You have like this mask, so it seems like it's like a type of a mask of maybe like a group of people. uh there's some songs on this album that have sleep in the title, which is funny because last week Dream Theater had that album with topics about sleep. So yeah, Lacuna Coil is back again, and for this album, even though this is coming out on Century Media Records on February 14, Valentine's Day, but they've already released 6 tracks, including a track today, the last single before the album drops, called "I Wish You Were Dead," which came out exactly ready for everyone that's ready to piss on their ex. You have a song by Lacuna Coil to talk about it. And I will talk more about that song when I talk more about the track. So, yeah, this album, it's a pretty energetic record from start to finish. And uh, I think the band were trying to sound more cinematic on this release. So, uh, here's a statement from the band say like, I never get stuck in the past. I still love bands like Typo Negative and Paradise Lost, but I also love soundtracks, big orchestral stuff like Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman, or even John Williams. So for the band, if people had a chance to listen to Sleepless Empire without the voice, guitars, or drum, the orchestral part is very important. It'd be like a soundtrack because it's very cinematic, and that's how I spend most of the time. The band member says, like, I grew up watching movies all day long. Even with my father, there was this massive culture of movies and soundtracks, even iconic horror ones like Friday the 13th or Halloween. And obviously, growing up in Italy, Goblin and their incredible soundtracks for Profundo Rosso and Suspiria. So what the band tries to do with this album is they try to have like that cinematic feel. The band has evolved in their sound. I would say their last albums, especially the ones in the 2010, they became like more glossy and sometimes hard. But like to me, they sounded like they were doing like the same album over and over again. And I think for this one, they want to focus more on like doing something different. So, for example, uh, the album opener, The Siege, really opens the album in a very bombastic manner, and you get Christina Scavia's vocals really up in front. She sounds as good as ever on this track. So I think it's a good way to start. One of the singles that they released that has been getting a lot of like play, and I think it sounds like modern Lacuna Coil to a T, is the song Oxygen. I love it when Christina Scavia shouts in the song, like, your oxygen is not enough to save me, which is it's a pretty cool lyric, I gotta say, very catchy. And that track, I think, is I can tell why they used it as a single, because it's pretty cool. But there's other tracks here that there's some that I think were released like early last year, like Never Dawn, which actually finishes the album. And that one sounds like if you're playing like a Call of Duty game, that track could be playing in there, same like Avenged Sevenfold has done in the past. And that one, I like it when there's a part where the music starts hard and then she goes like run and goes don 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 don, and it goes like in that harder melodic sound that Lacuna Coil has been doing more lately in their records. So I think the album I'm some a nitpick that I have is like sometimes when bands release so many singles up front, I think it like you kind of lose the mystery of records because I remember back in the day when albums came out, you get like one or two singles, and when you listen to the album, you like appreciate it more. Uh, and obviously, uh, Cristina Scavia is not alone here. Andrea Ferro is also an important mix of their songs because and Andrea and Cristina, share vocal duties and writing duties for the band. I prefer Cristina Scavia's vocals, but I think they wouldn't be Lacuna Coil without Andrea because he gives it that duality. Like he does more of the harsher stuff on songs, and it's like they already have a formula, and so deep in their career, they're not gonna change it. One of the singles that was released that I really enjoyed a lot was Gravity. So Gravity starts with a more like there's like a foreign language being sung, and it sounds like a choir, and which they've done in the past, and I like that part. I like that they add those elements to the songs. And there's a few guest vocalists on here. And funny enough, two of the tracks with guest vocalists were already released. You have Hosting the Shadow, which features Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. And I really like the combination of Randy's vocals with Christina's vocals. It's a melodic track that goes hard. And Randy from Lamb of God, when you hear his voice, is very distinctive. And I'm glad that he sings a lot on this track because I remember last year he was on a POD track and you could barely hear Randy. I'm like, why the fuck are you going to have someone if he's not doing shit on the track? But Randy is really utilized here and he spit out those great vocals that he's known for with a band like Lamb of God. The other song that has a guest vocalist is another female vocalist is In the Meantime, which features Ash Costello. I think I can't remember what band she's in, but I like it because her voice is very different from Christina and they complement each other. And that track is very melodic and a fun track, be it at that. So I really thought that was great. But most of the best songs on this record are not singles and are not released. So my favorite track from this record is In Nomine Patris, because obviously there's a lot of really like it harkens more to their older sound and more like gothic, like with some melodic tendencies. And I like the choir on that one, and Christina sounds great on that one. I think that's a great track, and it's like a deep cut on this record. And the song Sleepless Empire and Sleep Paralysis, which are the two tracks that tackle sleep, are very hard hitting as well. And I think like more of the hardest songs on the record. And I'm glad they didn't release it as singles so I could get something to be excited when I'm listening to this. There's two tracks on this record that I would say are more on the weaker side. One is Scarecrow, which is basically, it sounds like just copy paste from Oxygen, but they're saying Scarecrow and it's less good. So I don't know that track. And I think that track featured more Andrea on vocals and I like me more Christina in the front. So I don't know. I just thought it was too like generic sounding and a weaker track to be that. But the weakest track on this record is I Wish You Were Dead. This song is just so cheesy. It sounds more like a symphonic metal type of song, and it's a short track with 2 minutes and 48 seconds. And it starts like, I wish you were dead. And it's so over the top. I wish I would have been the producer here and told them no, Lacuna Coil, try again, delete this song. It sounds like the attempt of Lacuna Coil at doing like a poppier type of song. It almost sounds like it would be like Avril Lacoil, if you will. But yeah, I just think it's too cheesy. And there's a part where Adria goes like, "I wish you would," and it's just so much cheese on this track. It's like the cheese keeps falling, and I'm like, make it stop, please. So there's a line on the track that says, "I wish you were dead and out of my head." I'm sorry, Lacuna Coil. I wish this song was dead and out of my head. But yeah, besides those two tracks, my other maybe nitpick with this record is that I think Lacuna Coil, they're a talented band, but they've been around so long that I don't think they're taking enough risks. And all their last albums have sounded a little bit similar. The one before this, I enjoyed better than this one. I thought it was a superior record. And this one, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's not a bad record. It's entertaining, and I had fun listening to a lot of these tracks. But at the end of the day, I still think Lacuna Coil is playing Lacuna Coil by the numbers. And I don't think they're going to change anytime soon. So I expect to keep doing this type of sound. To me, I would love it if they go back to the Karma Code Comalize type of sound, because I think they mix more their Gothic style better with the symphonic stuff on those records. But obviously, highlight Christina Scavia sounds as awesome as ever. And Andrea Ferro, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his vocals, but I think he does a good job with what he does to the songs, and it gives a balance to Christina's voice and his voice. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Sleepless Empire. It's an okay record, you know. You can have fun with it. If you're a Lacuna Coil fan, I think you will enjoy this. And if you're not a Lacuna Coil fan, I think I Wish You Were Dead is a song that can appeal to people that do not listen to metal because it has that commercial appeal. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Sleepless Empire by Lacuna Coil? Comment down below what are your favorite tracks from this record. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.